just scooching this way a little bit. So we're going to have a look at the Lasso Guard tonight. So over the last week or so, we've done mount top, and we've looked at kind of some mount top setups. And it's something I want to do as well, is I want to start integrating more lapel and some more gi-based jiu-jitsu guard stuff going. So I'm going to start off with lapel, because lapel is something I have been able to use in the past, and it's something, it does work with some success. Like what you'll probably find is when you roll like people like Ray's got a really good lapel guard, and he's one of the reasons why I want to start kind of getting my head around lapel guard and introducing that back into my game. So we're going to go over the basics of kind of lapel guard to begin with, and the first things first is just getting into the actual position. So if James, you just stand up to start from, buddy. So we'll just start from the stud position, but we are going to start a lot of the lapel stuff tonight from them being in a combat-based position or being on the knees. All right. So Jay comes inside to grab my gi pants. This gives me the opportunity to get my own grips. Okay. So once I get my grips, I'm going to try and clear the grips off and pull them in. So I want a pull and a push. Okay, just to recap for you guys who have been doing gi stuff for a little while, a good guard usually involves something pushing, something pulling. Okay, so my arms are pulling, my feet are pushing. Okay, so to set up the lapel, sorry, not the lapel, lasso guard, I need to feed one leg in. Okay, so I'm just going to tilt my hip just slightly, because I find this much easier to get my foot in. I'm going to take the leg through, in, and this is the important bit. I'm going to straighten my leg out into this position. Okay. If you don't straighten your leg, it's going to be a lot harder to then bring him into this position where you've locked out the bicep a little bit. Okay, so if you don't straighten the leg and you just end up here, it's really hard to stack it. Okay, so that's really important when we're starting off in the lapel. Okay, so here I like to tilt my pelvis just slightly, foot goes in, then the foot goes straight, and then you see how the foot is at a 90-degree angle. Yep, I'm pulling my toes in towards my hip. So we end up in this position. So he's now stacked. So if Jay starts trying to pull away, that lapel is nice and tight. Okay, so what we're going to do, and this is the check, we're not fighting just yet. Yep. Get the position, foot goes in, leg goes straight first, then pull in, and then Jay's just going to move around a little bit. And I'm going to keep this locked out. Okay, still keeping this foot in this position. Not worried about this too much, but it's this I'm focusing on at the moment. All right, does that make sense? Okay, partner up, 1, 2, 3. I just mentioned a couple of times, is that foot going straight before you start stacking. It really does make a difference. So when we're in this position and we get to here, don't just hook and do this, yeah, because it's not as tight. So I've got to shoot that leg through first and then pull this in. Yeah, there's a significant difference once we're in this position. So we're going to start off with Jay going down to his knees or into a combat-based position, whichever one, it doesn't really matter. Okay, I'm going to start off working in this position. From here, one of the things that I really like to try and do is to start going into a bicep lock, but in all honesty, it's not that effective. Okay, so I'm not actually going to teach this tonight, because you guys who've done this before with me, you've seen me teach this sort of thing, get into here and get that bicep lock. I'd say it's probably over 5 years since I've tapped anyone with a bicep lock who's higher than a blue belt. So I'm not going to teach it. I think it's okay, and it's if things are going really bad, it's not a bad position to go, but it really isn't in the A game, okay, at the moment with the Lasso Guard, so I'm not going to teach it. Not tonight anyway, I might change my mind in a couple of weeks. So even if he's low down, I'm still doing the same thing here. So you can see that leg's going super straight, everything's stacking in, okay? So from this position here, yep, I'm just going to place my foot on the outside to here. Okay, what I'm not doing is flopping that across. Yeah, this still gives me a little bit of an insurance policy, but there's no point giving him the full side control from this position. So when the foot goes across, I'm still keeping a hook, just in case I need to start reversing the position and changing what's going on. Okay, so from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the inside of the pants, grab the pants, yeah, and then I'm going to start taking my shin down to the mat. So my shin, so it's touching the mat. So from here I'm going to pull, and then I'm going to push. Okay. So go back to that guard, don't we? We need a pull and a push. So 1, establish the position. Okay. I'm going to put the picture up later as well in the group. just with my goals for lasso. So my first goal for the lasso guard is to keep it for 30 seconds, regardless of what happens. Even if I don't get a sweep, my first goal that I'm trying to achieve in the next couple of weeks is keep it for 30 seconds. Keep it for 30 seconds, quality. Now, I go to my first attack from knees bottom. Hand goes on the inside, grab the pants, yeah, shin goes down, pull. Now, in jiu-jitsu we've got to be a little bit careful. We can't roll up into this position because it's apparently worse than murdering puppies. So we're not allowed to do that and you'll get disqualified, so you have to kind of abandon that to then look to get your mount position, okay? One more time, different angle. So let's establish the position. Excellent. 27, 28, 29. Now I can work. Brilliant. And then, okay? That makes sense? Yeah. Give it a go. 1, 2, 3. Don't murder puppies.